Well, it's finally official, ladies and gentlemen. Ricrado Pepi of the United States is off to PSV Eindhoven from FC Augsburg. I'll be talking a little bit about my thoughts on that and some other things, but so a little background on Ricrado Pepi. 6'1" U.S. striker, about 23 years old, if I'm not mistaken. 20. Time flies, man. He's been around for a while. I remember watching him a few years ago, actually, in the USL League One for North Texas, and he was just scoring goal after goal after goal. His goal record was insane. And then, North Texas SC is the feeder club. It's basically a mini FC Dallas, which is the MLS team, obviously in America. So, basically, he got promoted from North Texas SC in the USL League One to FC Dallas. Again, lit it up. Destroyed MLS defenders left, right, and center. Scored loads of goals, and was just fantastic. He was just. He just had a knack for scoring goals instinctually. He just knows how to find, he just knows how to score goals, man. Really, really good player. A hell of a right foot. He's efficient. And then, from FC Dallas, he went to Augsburg. Wasn't great at Augsburg. Didn't get many opportunities. There's strikers like Finn Balkason or whatnot in front of him in the pecking order. It just didn't really work out. FC Augsburg last season loaned out Ricardo to what is it called? Sorry, it was I'm thinking of the name now. Groningen. Sorry, FC Groningen. And he did very, very well there in their Eredivisie for Groningen. It was one of the lone bright sparks of Groningen season. They were absolutely terrible defensively. They were just a mess, and they got relegated. But yeah, he was one of their only standout players in terms of he would put the ball in the back of the net. I mean, if we're just looking at the statistics here and whatnot and the way he played, 29 appearances for Groningen, 28 starts, 12 goals, a goal every 205 minutes, 3 assists. He was the only thing really keeping Groningen from not getting relegated far earlier, to be honest. And the goals the goals that he scored, and they weren't just against the crappy teams in the Eredivisie or whatever. He was putting in good performances in against Feyenoord and not so much away to PSV Eindhoven, but he was just a consistent goal threat for Groningen, and like I said, he was one of the only reasons that they didn't get relegated earlier. But now he's got his big move now to PSV Eindhoven, and this is a great move for all parties involved. In terms of for PSV Eindhoven, they obviously have Luc de Jong, former Newcastle, obviously, so Luc de Jong is there, but they do need some more attacking emphasis because if we're going to take the rumors seriously about Xavi Simons leaving, possibly PSV, a lot of big clubs are looking at him. Brilliant player. He really is. There's a lot of things to like about Xavi Simons. They are going to need goals. And Luc de Jong is someone that Pepi could start in front of, and I'm assuming he would. Having said that, they only did pay 11 million euros to Augsburg for Pepi, so he isn't locked in as a starter. But if we're just looking at PSV squad real quick, and from what I've seen of them in terms of forwards, they have Johan Bakayoko, young Belgian kid off the right. He's a wicked player, definitely one for the future at only 20 years old. El Ghazi, more off the left, nothing special. He's pretty bang average. But yeah, right now it's Ricrado Pepi and Luc de Jong. Now, obviously, I'm not sure what to expect out of their new manager because obviously Ruud van Nistelrooy left last season. He left PSV Eindhoven. So Fred Rutten is coming in. I don't know too much about him, but if I look at where he's managed, Rutten is managed at Anderlecht. He hasn't been managing. He managed Anderlecht, coming up on 4 years ago. He's also manager of Schalke for a short amount of time and was actually at PSV Eindhoven for about 3 years, from 2009 to 2012. He's also managed Feyenoord, Vitesse Arnhem, Maccabi Haifa. So in terms of, I have never heard of the guy. I never heard of the guy. I'm not sure of his play style or anything. But again, this is, for me, a great transfer on paper because Pepi, he's proved it at Groningen that he can score goals in the Eredivisie. Now it's about translating that talent onto the biggest of stages in one of the top 3 clubs in the Netherlands, in the Eredivisie, which is PSV Eindhoven, and it fixes a need right away because you have a guy that will score you goals. He'll score you headers as well. He's just got a knack of finding the back of the net, even in a poor side, which struggled to give him consistent service. So I think it's a great transfer. And in terms of his national team prospects, I mean, Balogun was tremendous in the 2 appearances. Well, not tremendous, but he put in a real good debut shift. Scored obviously in the game against Canada, if I'm not mistaken. And Pepi did score in the 3-0 rout of Mexico in that absolutely crazy game. Look, for me, I'm very, very excited about this move because he'll be playing in Europe with PSV Eindhoven. I believe Champions League, since they finished in the top 2 last season. Let me just double check that. I believe they did. Yeah, they did. Yeah, so they'll be in the Champions League playoff round, if I'm not mistaken. So Pepi will get Champions League experience for the first ever time, which is tremendous. You know, test your abilities against different teams from different leagues. It's terrific. He's at a huge club in PSV Eindhoven. Yeah, it's an exciting one for sure. I just think I think the guy is he's really he's showing nice progression outside of that little stint at Augsburg that didn't quite work out. But yeah, I think like I said about Luke de Jong, I'm not really worried about him. I'm not really worried about him getting in front of Luke de Jong. I think Luke de Jong's a very serviceable backup to Ricrado Pepi. But yeah, I think, like I said, good transfer all around. And for the national team, he will be getting consistent game minutes and now a top 6 league because the UEFA coefficient obviously has been released. And yeah, he's a banging player. 20 years old. There's so much room to grow for this kid. And he's already shown that he can score goals in MLS. He can score goals for the national team as well. And he's also can score in Europe in the Eredivisie with a terrible team. So it's looking on the up, man. It's looking on the up definitely for Ricrado Pepi. Just definitely a guy to keep your eye on. I'm certainly excited to see what the young man can do for Eindhoven. But yeah. So, big news. Pepi to Eindhoven. It's on, baby. Anyways, thanks for checking out the video. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, all that good stuff.